5 of the fantasy basketball season's on its way here with a couple good games I went down so far on MLK Day, but here's a few guards you should drop off your roster for this week. The first one is Tyus Jones of the Memphis Grizzlies. Tyus Jones, he filled in decently for Ja Morant, but now it's time to drop Jones. Morant came back on Saturday night, and Jones in a few weeks, he stepped in for Morant. He had decent numbers. 9.3 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2.2 steals, and he had 75% from the line and 41% from the field. So Tyus Jones, he did a good job. He was ranked 101 so far this season, filling in for Ja Morant. But now with Morant back, we saw Jones only play 17 minutes the other night with 6 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, and 3 steals. So Jones, he still had a decent type of game. But now with Morant back and going to get 35, 40 minutes a game, Jones, he could be dropped on the waiver wire. And already managers have dropped him in 14% of fantasy leagues. So it's time to get rid of Jones. The next guard I would get rid of this week and drop onto the wires, Will Barton of the Denver Nuggets. Barton, he's been an inconsistent fantasy player so far this year. And on the year, his stats are nothing special. 11 points, 4.3 rebounds, 2.9 assists, a steal a game, a 3.5 a game, 66% from the line, and only 40% from the field. So Barton, he'll have a couple flash games here and there where he'll score 20 or more points in a game. But then he'll go to the next game with 5 points, a couple rebounds, and a 3 or 2. So Barton this season, he's been inconsistent. Michael Porter Jr., he's been out the last 2 weeks now, and this week he's supposed to come back, and hopefully he don't have to go back on the COVID list or whatever is Porter Jr., and that's where Barton's value is definitely going to take a hit. So right now he's owned in 58% of leagues, but if there's better options on your waiver wire, I think I would drop Will Barton. And the third and final guard I would drop this week in week 5 of the season is Caris LeVert of the Indiana Pacers. LeVert, he got traded obviously in that James Harden blockbuster deal in a 4-team trade where LeVert went to Indiana. But now he's out indefinitely with a bad kidney problem where they found a small mass on his kidney. So hopefully it all works out for LeVert. I think this season could be a wash for him now. And he was playing really well, was LeVert, before this popped up on the physical. Luckily he did get traded, that they found this out. Or who knows, it could have been next year they could have found this. So it's good he got traded in a sense that the Indiana medical staff found this mass in his kidney, and hopefully LeVert heals, even if he has to sit out the season. But this year, he was averaging 18.5 points a game, 4.5 boards, 6 assists, a steal a game, 1.8 threes, and 43% from the field. So LeVert, it's possible he could be out for the season. And if you already have a lot of guys injured or you have limited injured spots, he's probably worth the drop at this point. So that's a few guards I would drop here in week 5 of the fantasy basketball season.